Hello students, in the previous videos we have already studied the meaning of business environment, features of business environment and also the importance. So in this session we will be studying about dimensions of business environment. Dimensions of business environment is also referred as the elements of business environment. So for your examination point of view, this is one of the very important topic. So so dimensions of business environment include economic environment, social environment, technological environment, political environment, and legal environment. So these economic, social, technological, political, and legal conditions, which are considered very important for decision making and also improving the performance of any type of organization. So now let us study these dimensions one by one. First one is economic environment. So economic environment includes certain economic factors, and those are interest rates, inflation rates, changes in the disposable income of people, and stock market indices. So all these are considered as an economic factors that can affect the management practices in a business enterprise. So interest rates are the proportion of a loan that is charged as interest to the borrowers. It is expressed as an annual percentage of loan outstanding. For example, if there is a reduced interest rate, that will encourage the people or customers to spend on home improvements. This is one example. Like if there is a rise in the interest rates, that will discourage the people, and also if there is a decrease in the interest rate, that will encourage the customers to spend. I'll give you another example. Now, in case of a construction companies or in case of the automobile manufacturers, lower and longer term interest rates are beneficial because they result in increased spending by customers for buying homes and cars on borrowed money. Next factor is inflation rates. Now, inflation refers to an environment in which generally there will be a rise in the prices of goods and services. Like, for example, prices of many consumer goods are double now when it is compared to around 20 years ago, it is double now. So, if there is a high inflation rates, then that will result of business enterprises to have an increased cost, like purchase of raw materials or machineries or payment of wages and salaries to the employees, etc. So next economic factor is changes in the disposable income of the people. So first we need to understand what is disposable income. Disposable income is the amount of money that households have available for spending. So when this disposable income increases, households have more money to spend, or even they can save it. So that will naturally lead to a growth in consumption. So the next one is stock market indices. So when there is a fluctuation, that is when there is an increase and decrease in the stock market prices, that will help the investors to compare the current price levels with the past prices to calculate the market performances. Now the next dimension is social environment. So social environment of a business involves social forces or social factors like customs and traditions, values, social trends, and society's expectations from the business. So now, for example, talking about the customs and traditions, it defines the social practices that have lasted for decades or even for the centuries. For example, the celebration of Diwali, Eid, or Christmas in India that provides a significant financial opportunities, that is demand for the greeting card companies, sweets, or confectionery manufacturers. Even the tailoring outlets and many other related business will have a drastic change in their sales during the time of festivals. Now, if you take for example in case of values, they are related to the individual freedom, justice, equality of opportunity, etc. Next is social trends and society's expectations from the business. So the social trends can be called as an activity that is participated in by society as a whole. It can be either long lasting or it can be short lived also. For example, Facebook and Twitter. So these have introduced a new social trend by introducing the new way to connect with the people from far and near. Also, for example, health and fitness trends, they have increased the demand for products like organic food, gyms, and mineral water, etc. So the next element is technological environment. Technological environment includes forces that are related to scientific improvements and innovations which provide new way of producing goods and services, and also new methods and techniques of operating a business. That is nothing but a technological progress is a means to make and improve the products and services. Now, for example, the traditional manner of printing magazines involved mechanical printing press, but now there is a new technological process that has been developed to digitize the magazine to be transmitted and stored electronically. The manufacturers have flexible manufacturing systems in their business. Like, for example, airline companies have internet and worldwide web pages where customers can look for flight times, their destinations and fares, and also book them online, book their tickets online. Also, shifts in demand from vacuum tubes to transistors, from fountain pens to ballpoint, from airplanes to jets, and from typewriters to computer based word processors. So, all these have been responsible for creating a new business under technological environment. So, the next one is political environment. Under political environment, it includes the political conditions such as general stability and peace in the country and specific attitudes that elected government representatives hold towards the business. It includes those factors that are related to the government affairs where government is in power. The political factors like the government rules and regulations. For example, the tax and economic policies. So, increasing or decreasing rates of tax is a good example for political factor. That is, the government regulations may either raise the tax rate for some businesses and it may lower the tax rate for others due to a certain conditions or certain reasons. So that is why the political background of a country can influence the desire of a business to expand its operations. So, as a whole, political stability will build up confidence among the business people to invest in the long term projects for the growth of an economy. So, when there is a political instability, then that can shake the confidence. The last dimension of business environment is legal environment. So, this legal environment involves certain legal factors such as the legislations passed by the government, administrative orders issued by the government authorities, court judgments, as well as the decisions that are rendered by the various commissions and agencies at every level of government. That can be either central government, state government, or local government. So, in simple language, it is a set of rules and regulations or code of conduct that defines the legal boundaries of any business activity. Therefore, for any business, it is must to have a knowledge of rules and regulations that are framed by the government for the better business performance. So, when there is a non-compliances of laws, that is not obeying the rules and regulations or laws, then they can land the business enterprise into a legal problems. So it is always important to have a knowledge about the legal enactments that are amended by the parliament. For example, the advertisement of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. So advertisements including the packets of cigarettes carry the statutory warning cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Similarly, the advertisements of baby food must necessarily inform the potential buyers that the mother's milk is the best. So all these regulations are required to be followed by the advertisers.